Next, gentleman from California, Mr. Panetta.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I have an amendment at the desk.
The clerk will distribute the amendment. Without objection, it is considered as read, and the gentleman from California is recognized for 5 minutes.
Again, thank you, Mr. Chairman, for this brief discussion in regards to my amendment that would allow certain immigrants who grew up in the United States to enlist and gain legal status, provided that they serve out the terms of their enlistment honorably. Specifically, the amendment authorizes certain individuals brought to the United States as children, as of no fault of their own, who grew up in this country, to enlist in the military, to serve in the military, and then after honorably completing the terms of their enlistment, these individuals would be eligible to legally adjust their status in the United States. I do believe recruits under this policy would provide the military an expanded talent pool of men and women, many who possess strategically valuable language and cultural skills, as well as that desire to serve the only country that they know and the only country that they've ever called home. We are not giving legal status to them. All we are doing is asking that they earn it by fulfilling all the terms of their enlistment honorably, and then they can legally adjust their status. They are going to be subject to the same background checks and security requirements as any other eligible military enlistee. Eligible immigrants who wish to patriotically serve the only country that they have ever known and contribute to the United States, I believe, are vital to the interests of the United States. At this point, I would yield some time to my good friend, Mr. Norcross from New Jersey.
Thank you. I speak in support of this amendment and to share a quick story. My son was serving in South Korea when he met a young lady who happened to be serving in the chemical response unit in South Korea. They got married. They had my grandchild. And I got a call when they were in Fort Hood, Texas, in the middle of the night that my daughter-in-law was going to be deported. And I asked, deported where? Mexico. That's when we found out she was a dreamer. She was a dreamer before the term dreamer actually came in because of misfiled paperwork. Willing to give her life, serving in the U.S. Army. What better way to say you love a country? If you're willing to give your life for our country should be willing for you to become a citizen. I urge my colleagues to support this amendment so dreamers can have that ability to honorably serve their country, just as my daughter-in-law did, who now is a U.S. citizen. I yield back.
At this point, I'd yield to Mr. Swazi.
I just want to speak in support of this amendment as well, and just to tell a story from a long time ago that when my grandfather first came to the United States of America in the early 1900s, he signed up for the U.S. Army and became a U.S. citizen. The law permitted that at that time. When my father and grandmother came to the United States of America in the 1920s, they came as citizens because of my grandfather's naturalization status. My father became the first person in the neighborhood to go to college. He fought in World War II, got the Distinguished Flying Cross with 3 Oak Leaf clusters, and came back and went to Harvard Law School on the GI Bill. What a country. I yield back.
Thank you. Now, Mr. Chairman, I have been told that this amendment has been referred to other committees, and they have not waived their jurisdiction. However, I do intend to bring this amendment on the floor and ask for your support with the Rules Committee to have it made in order.